That's funny. All right. So moving on from the Dominican boxing, I actually want to ask you about how you got started. So what made you start the boxing voice?
Void, man. I felt there was a void, man. I felt that, and there was. Obviously, now there's millions of channels and hundreds that cater, the way that you cater to your audience and I cater to mine. But when I started podcasting, uh, boxing podcasts didn't even exist on YouTube. Like, I was the first dude to do video podcasts on YouTube. They were talking boxing on YouTube, but I'm talking podcasts. Like, that's the reason I'm in the studio, because people didn't separate that either. Like, they see you on YouTube and they just think you're a YouTuber. Like, there's an entire different world out there from YouTube that's called podcasting and listening to podcasts that's much bigger. There's iTunes, there's Spotify, there's iHeartRadio, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spreaker, all these uh, you know, hundreds of locations that you can listen to audio form conversation only. And it's actually a different revenue source as well. So, I get confused for a podcaster because I'm on YouTube, but YouTube is just my ability to get free advertisement. It's one of the biggest websites in the world. So being on YouTube puts me out there. But I'm more of a podcast, and I started it because there was a void, right? There was like nowhere I can call in after the fight. What do you do? Like, if you wasn't doing what you're doing right this minute, what did you do before that after the fight on a Saturday night? Let
Yeah.
alone in the East Coast. It's 1:30 in the fucking morning. There's no one to talk to. Maybe you got one friend in your clique that knows boxing and all he fucking knows is Floyd or Mike Tyson, and you get frustrated. So, you
Yeah.
know, Twitter was new. I was on it a lot more. I'm not on it no more. That shit is toxic now. But I was on it a lot more, and I found like minds and people, and it became easier to talk boxing. But I listened to certain shows, and I just didn't. Again, I didn't like that they weren't catering to us. Like, yeah, after the fight, the show host would come and tell us what he thought. He would tell us how he'd seen the fight and what he thought about the bad decision. But it's like, bro, there's people on the other end of this that want to tell you the same thing
Yeah.
or debate and don't agree with you. So I feel like I catered and tried to cater to my listeners and to eventually my callers. And yeah, man, I started it because of that. Because who the fuck has a friend that knows enough about boxing that you can
Yeah.
have conversations with unless you're in this industry and your friend is also in the industry?
Yeah.